Next up is the second boss from Sly 2 on this list, the Contessa. The Contessa was in school studying criminal psychology and then got married to a wealthy aristocrat, but then he died shortly after. She then was into hypnotherapy and became Interpol's most renowned prison warden. Then she put her newly learned skills and opened a criminal rehabilitation center in Prague. After episode 3, she took Murray and Sly to this very prison. She uses spice to force feed it to criminals so she can use the clockwork eyes to reveal their riches. The spice is then used on Murray, and we find out that the illegal spice causes anger in the mind, and also takes Carmelita to replace her mind of everything that's happened, and replaces them with the eyes and mind shuffler. While Neela catches up to the Contessa, and has a full-scale war with her for being a secret member of the Claw Gang that the Sly Gang is in the middle of in episode 5, after a chase with Neela to get the other part of the clockwork eyes, the Contessa traps Neela and faces off one-on-one with Sly. Battle starts, and the Contessa does a dashing move with multiple punches. All you have to do is keep hitting her until she's down. But in the second phase, she wakes up unexpectedly, and the second phase starts. This time she has an attack that will put Sly in a daze. If he gets caught, it looks really weird, so just avoid it and keep hitting her until she's done for. The Contessa has a simple and easy battle, keeping her from being higher, but her backstory and actions put her at number 8 spot. The fourth boss of Sly 1 is one I had a lot of fun fighting as a kid, and to this very day, and his name is the Panda King. This mighty panda of China, as a kid, was fascinated by rich noblemen who shot fireworks every New Year. He studied for a decade about fireworks and offered them to the noblemen. They then shunned him, and he started to take revenge on them by using fireworks to burn down the village. Later, he learned a new fire technique he calls Flame Fu that is feared around the world. His battle takes place on top of a giant statue of him, in a place that looks like a sort of shrine altar where people would meditate at. When the battle starts, he will start throwing giant balls of fire at you that you have to dodge. Thing is, you can either dodge them straight up by running straight for him, or take it safe and hide cover behind nearby rocks. Once you get up to him, he'll start using a move called Fiery Wheel, where he sweeps the floor around him with a swift fire chop. Once you knock enough health down, he will knock you back down, each time. Climb back up, and you will now get a new move called Palms of Thunder, which covers both sides of you, so be still during this attack. Climb back, and you will now have a booming chop that covers the middle area, so make sure you go to the right when he uses it. Repeat 2 more times with all the moves, and he will be defeated. Panda King is a great boss who has a vengeful backstory, an awesome and varied fight, and will always be one of my favorites. Not to mention that you also get to fight him in Sly 3, but we'll get to that later. First boss to ever have 2 episodes dedicated to them was Rajan, a strong tiger that grew up poor on the streets of Calcutta and sold spices on the black market. He soon made a business out of it as he grew up, and because of his huge wealth, he made a giant palace and called himself Lord of the Hills. He holds 2 very symbolic clockwork parts, the clockwork wings that he shows at an ancestral palace for bringing himself prestige, and in episode 3, he holds the clockwork heart powerful enough to increase Rajan's spice production 10 times as much. After Sly gets knocked out by a powerful electric thundershot of doom from the power of Rajan's clockwork heart staff, Murray jumps in to save him, but Rajan traps him in a circle of electricity and is forced to fight him to get to Sly. This fight is an all-out cage fight with Rajan. You can actually damage him 3 ways. You can take him on directly while avoiding his vertical and sweep attacks, or lead him towards the electric fence and keep hitting him so he'll knock back into the fence and get electrocuted, or throw an enemy at him to knock him out and do damage that way. He will also use an ability to electrify the ground, so be sure to hop on to one of the lily pads to avoid getting shocked. This attack will help you if there's a bunch of enemies on the field, because when they die, they will sometimes give you health. If you get hit, it will do good damage, so grab health whenever you can. Repeat these strategies until his health is gone. After the fight, Murray and Sly will be captured by the Contessa and Trader Neela, leaving Bentley all alone in the field to rescue them in episode 4. Overall, Rajan is an awesome boss, with not too good of a backstory, but his challenging battle surely makes up for it. Sly 4 is the newest Sly game to come out of the series. Its bosses were a mixed bag for me. Besides the final boss and the Grizz, the bosses were great, and the first of two to land on the list is the Black Knight. When Bentley looked him up, he had no backstory whatsoever. All we knew was that he had technologically advanced weaponry to completely take over, and defeat and put Sir Gallus to shame in the carnival. But later on, and if you look at the logo of this armor the person is wearing, then you would see that it is Penelope working with the bad guys, and Le Paradox. In an earlier mission, Bentley finds this out and puts him into depression, to find out that his love is siding with the bad guys. This sticks him into his shell, and the rest of the gang do the operation without him. After a briefing from Carmelita, they head off to defeat Penelope. When Sly encounters her, she goes into her giant black robot and starts shooting a laser at you. What you have to do is head over to 3 towers so you can get on top and use the archer costume to shoot an arrow at one of the blue spots at the machine, to make a path to walk on and shoot tons of arrows into the spot to do damage. Repeat 2 more times while avoiding shockwaves and the spot to have the arrow go through, progressively getting smaller, and she will be defeated. But Bentley comes in and saves Sly from being killed. Penelope explains how she did not really like Bentley working with Sly for chump change, and Bentley and Penelope have an official breakup, robot fighting style, in Phase 2. In this phase, you have 3 attacks: punch, dodge, and a cool super move. This form is pretty entertaining due to flashy attacks and them yelling comments between each other. After that, Bentley and the gang leave Penelope for the next time period. This boss is really great due to its mysterious backstory and surprising reveal. Mix that with the awesome 2-phase boss fight, and you got my second favorite boss in Sly 4.